Hi there, I hope everyone is very happy and very well. Welcome to another video installment of cold, flu, and sinus tips. Is zinc an effective remedy for the common cold? That's the question that I want to look at for a few minutes today. There are a number of zinc partisans in the health and wellness community who make what I believe are inflated and overextended claims about the remedial effects of zinc on the common cold. And what I wanted to do for you is essentially separate the wheat from the chaff to articulate those specific remedial applications of zinc for which there's unequivocal research support in multiple studies over time, and to put to one side those claims for which there's either conflicting evidence or which have no evidence at all to support them. Because those are question marks, those are uncertainties, and I want to give you the rock-solid, reliable information about the remedial effects of zinc that you can use to determine whether to incorporate zinc into your seasonal illness remedial regime. So to understand zinc, we have to understand first what it does specifically and what it does not do. And to do that, we need to understand a few distinctions. First, the distinction between prevention of a cold and the treatment of an existing cold. Within the realm of treating existing cold, there is an additional distinction between treating the severity of symptoms versus treating the duration of symptoms. And a final distinction that we have to make is between adults and children, because zinc has different effects in adults than it does in children. So with respect to preventing a common cold, if you want to prevent yourself from acquiring a common cold, you should know this. If you are an adult, and most of the people watching are adults, zinc will not prevent you from acquiring common colds. It will not prevent the number of common or reduce the number of colds that you get each year. There's no evidence to support that proposition. But with kids, the result is different. With kids, if kids take zinc in low daily dosages, and by low daily dosages I mean about 15 to 20 milligram in tablet form and in the zinc sulfate form, for at least 5 months. If your child does that for at least 5 months, the low daily dosages in tablet form for 5 months, then the number of colds that they acquire each year will be reduced by approximately 1. They will get 1 less cold per year with that zinc regimen, low-dose zinc regimen, than they would otherwise get. They will be absent from school less, and they will have less antibiotics prescribed to them by their pediatricians as well. So, no preventive effect in adults, some preventive effect in kids with the low daily dosages. Okay, so much for prevention. What about treatment of existing symptoms? Zinc does have a beneficial effect in adults, but it's only with respect to the duration of the symptoms, not with respect to the severity of symptoms. And here's what you need to do in order to maximize the remedial effect of zinc on the duration of your cold symptoms. You need to, first of all, take it in lozenges, and that usually contains zinc gluconate, which is the popular form and the best form to take the zinc. Take it in lozenges and take it in high daily dosages, up to 200 milligrams a day. But take it lozenge by lozenge. The way it's recommended is you take a lozenge of about 15 milligrams each, and you take a lozenge every couple of hours throughout the day, and that comes out to about, can come out to as much as 200 milligrams per day. You need to start taking the lozenges right after you feel the cold symptoms coming on, and if you do that, if you take it in lozenge form every couple of hours, about 15 milligrams every couple of hours, then you will experience a significant reduction in the duration, not the severity, of your cold symptoms if you are an adult. And the reduction will be by as much as half, but probably more like 35 to 40%. So that is very significant, but what you need to understand here is that it only affects the duration. It will not cure the severity. It will not ameliorate your sore throat and make your sore throat less sore. It will simply shorten the duration of the symptom in question. But with respect to kids, zinc has no demonstrated effect in treating an existing cold. So don't give your kids the lozenges. They probably won't like them anyway. But there's no demonstrated effect that zinc has in treating symptoms, whether the severity or duration, in kids. Okay, so the final point with respect to zinc would be the side effects that it can possibly have. One side effect that's reported is a very bitter taste in the mouth, which can happen, particularly with the lozenges. Nausea and a bit of an upset stomach have been reported as well. But what's important for you to remember is that so long as you confine your zinc, your high-dose zinc intake, to the duration of the cold, in other words, just for a few days, it's going to be 5-6 days maximum, really. So long as you confine it to that period of time, a very small period of time, and you cease your intake as soon as the cold symptoms start to wind down, really, then you should be fine. There's certainly not going to be any long-term issues in terms of zinc toxicity, particularly if you keep the daily dosage at below 200 milligrams, basically. So, and in connection with the preventive regime in kids in the low dosages, there's really no issue with side effects. It's such a low dosage that it doesn't really present any risks. Okay, so to review, with respect to cold prevention, zinc will have an effect in kids and kids only. And the effect is that it will reduce the number of common colds your child acquires by about 1 each year, so long as it's taken for at least 5 months, again, in the low daily dosages. In tablet form, the research was done with zinc sulfate. With respect to treatment of existing colds, zinc has an effect in adults and adults only, and only with respect to the duration and not the severity of symptoms. The zinc taken in lozenge form in a high daily dosage, about 15 milligrams every couple of hours, will have the effect of reducing your cold by as much as half in terms of its duration, and but more likely around 35 to 40% reduction in the duration of your cold. So that's the truth. That's the rock solid information that is available about zinc. It has a real effect. Scientists are still determining why precisely it has this effect, and we can talk about that more some other time. But for now, know that there is unequivocal research in support of the propositions that I've made for you here. With respect to all of the other chaff, as it were, you should probably ignore it and certainly don't act on it. But with respect to the propositions I've laid out for you here as to the remedial effects of zinc, you should feel confident in acting on it, because you know what? This has been a very conservative analysis, and I am deliberately excluding anything that is at all questionable. So there you have it. Let me know if you have any questions. Best wishes. We shall talk soon. Like the page for more tips. Talk to you later. Bye.